Hello everybody, this is Maniac 4 Bricks. I'm here with another Mock Mondays video, and this is my completed update of the baseball field mock. Now keep in mind there are a whole bunch of unrealistic things about this, but I will address those later in the video. The last thing that I need for updating this, because I have shown this before on a Garden Slug video and on a Fridays vlog before, was a whole bunch of black robot arms. I already put them in there, and those were spares. Now this whole section is done as far as the fencing goes, and I can call this completed. As far as the teams of Lego Movie versus the Simpsons, I'm sure it'll change over time for who's playing in the field, but I thought this was just a nice pairing for them right now. You know, nice even teams, and be able to show everyone on the different positions in the field. You know, even the outfield a little bit. And yes, I will address the outfield a little bit later. So, first things first, we have the dugouts, which are exactly the same to each other, just some, opposite angles of the base plate. And each of these comes with their own bench. There's two barrels, which have 1x1 studs, which are supposed to simulate baseballs, and a small cooler on the bottom towards the back. So you have an area for kids to grab a drink and, hydrate themselves while they're sitting out in the dugout. And also the same applies over here, but the only difference is I didn't have a 2x2 round tile to add in there. I might find a round plate, but I'll have to look for that separately. And that's not really going to be something worried about for the video. So, then we have the home plate area, which has enough room to fit a batter, a catcher, and an umpire. That's what the hockey players from Series 4 are supposed to be in this case. There's also a little bit of padding back here in sand blue. I'm going to talk about what I might change, if anything, later on, but I'm not really going to talk about it in a separate video, just talk about it in this one. And I'm really happy that I was able to implement this Nexonite shield as a home plate. I had to get this from a seller on Bricklane because I was able to part out a brick bank. So it was really dependent on that for that, for that part to work, but also for a bunch of pieces in order to make a single order from a Bricklink store, get a whole bunch of this taken care of, including plates, including the, the fencing areas, and a whole bunch of robot arms, except for when I ran out of them. We do have all four bases, and even a little bit of curvature on the outside diamond area for this base, for the second base. Excuse my lack of sports vocabulary. And we also got a little bit of fencing along here. Again, I will talk about what I might improve or how things can be improved later on, or you can just tell me in the comments below if you think something could be better done later on, and I might be able to do it. We also have some extra barrels back here just because I had them, and I don't know if I'm always going to keep them there, but for right now, it's a good spot. So, I'm really happy I was able to fit enough room so you could have everyone in the positions. Why is there no outfield? Well, on this 32x32 base plate, yes, there is practically no outfield, or a very small one at that. But if you grabbed a whole bunch of green base plates and put them next to each other, you can make a more decent outfield to be a bit more realistic. I would say, other than that, proportions seem appropriate. Yes, you don't have enough room in here to fit the minifigures for an entire baseball team. And yes, sometimes, it might be a little bit close between the bases and even from here to home. But I tried to fit it as best as I could inside of the base plate, because in case I was going to put this into a Garden Slug display where we have a city arrangement and everyone brings a 32x32 mock, this would be something more of in a recreational area, and in case there wasn't enough room around that to make a giant outfield, I wanted to get the essentials inside of here. So, that's what that's about. Why is there dark tan on second plate? So, the thing about that is, I didn't have the tan plates, these wedge plates in tan, be it from Bricklink orders or in my own collection. So I decided to use these, and I think it's okay to use, because it gives it a sense of, being roughed up, maybe somebody running from first base to second base, sliding in and kicking up some sand and some dirt. That's as much a story as I can think of for it, and yeah, it doesn't look entirely great, but I think it's something that it can be awfully close based on what I have available. What else is there? Well, the padding back here. I think it would actually be a better color if I were to do it in just regular blue, like Wild Styles suit blue, instead of sand blue. It just brings a brighter color to the place, and I'm just not sure if I actually have them available as I'm recording this video. So, I just stuck with those for right now. Anything else? Yeah, it could have been a little bit wider as far as the dugouts go. And yeah, there could have been awnings over them as well. That could have decorated it and made it look more attractive. But the problem that I have with that is this. Number one, if I raised the fences too high, it would be kind of hard to fit minifigures in there, be it with or without an awning over them. I think the awning would actually make it much more difficult because you'd have to take that off and then put the minifigures in and put it back on, and it'd just be about as tall as, say, an Astro Bistro if I were to increase the height of the fences. And number two, I'm not really sure how well that the fence pieces could stack on top of each other. I had an idea a while ago where I was going to put friction pins on top of these and then put more pretty much the same setup on top of that. But I've actually noticed in a couple of areas there's not a lot of room on here to make a solid connection. So it might not hold together that well, and I figured I'll just scrap that and it'll look pretty good, without it. So, there's everything for the baseball mock. You can check out this and other mocks that I will be displaying with Garden Slug. This month in October, there will be a couple of shows I'll be at. First one is actually this Saturday at Brickfest Live in New Jersey in the Meadowlands. So, you can check out brickfestlive.com to see more information about it and get your tickets there. That is not a paid advertisement. That's just how you can get into the show. And you can also see some of the other mocks that I'll have for that display. That Meadow Beard will probably be back here or something like that in the display. And you can also check out the tennis mock that I've made. I did do a video about that on my channel as well. There'll also be some other mocks that I will have. And the reason why I didn't do this in the usual studio area is because I'm going to put all my Garden Slug mocks in this shelf. This is actually the third shelf on top of, some other ones. So I'm going to have a whole bunch of area back here. You can even see down here is a mock that I've been working on for a long time. And then there's one of my Bionicle mocks. There's basically going to be, where I'm going to keep doing Garden Slug stuff so that I can update it if I need to and make adjustments and just have a nice area for display of my more advanced custom things. So we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope you make it to Brickfest this Saturday. And if not then there's Brick Fair at the end of the month, I believe the 29th, or the weekend of the 29th, so you can check more about that on their website.